Welcome to the show that looks at truth, fiction, and reality with a smirk. I'm Aaron Peterson.
I'm Amanda Sink.
And I'm Zack Parkerson.
And welcome to Smirk. Each week, one of our hosts introduces an original story, which we then use as a springboard for a spirited and lighthearted discussion on whatever the moral or theme of their story is. This week it is Zack's turn, so everybody get ready to cry.
Yeah, hopefully.
Or be sad.
Well, you know what?
Or be angry. Or be fierce.
Or all of the above.
To certainly feel emotions, as you should, with every episode of Smirk.
But why can't we feel like happy?
We're supposed to feel every episode?
Yeah.
You know what? His last story was happy-ish.
Moving?
Until we started talking about your actual moving experiences, and then it just got sad as hell.
Oh, yeah. We went to a legendarily sad place from what I've heard.
Yeah, it was dark.
For me, it was Tuesday. So,
wow.
What are you going to do?
That just sounds even sadder.
Yeah, I don't think this story is going to make you sad.
Do you ever, though?
I don't think it's not sad. It depends. You know what? It depends on your view.
It really does. Yeah, it really does. I'm really excited because your stories are always interesting.
They are. At the very least, you always have very creative and twisting stories.
I appreciate that. I hope that carries through today because now that's a lot of pressure. So.
Well, if it sucks, we'll tell you it sucks.
Well, thank you. That's really nice. Well, don't tell me until the episode's over.
Okay.
I'll also break down and cry.
Pinky promise.
Are you ready to tell a story before everybody quits? Because they're all sad and they're just like, God, stop talking about how sad a story is. It could be awesome.
It will be awesome.
Because somebody's saying that right now.
And sad.
Is it? God damn it. I was just trying to jazz it up.
You'll find out.
You know what? I bet we'll have some interesting conversation from it.
I bet.
I hope. Otherwise, this whole podcast thing is shot.
You guys should gather around the campfire. It's time for a story. The airport is barely busy, almost still. This is as if the building itself knows how heavy the air is. I didn't come to my decision lightly, but it's the only one I could ever make. There's no denying, however, that the gun weighs heavy strapped to my boot. I know he's coming soon. The gentleman who works at the news station told me that this was the evening. He might get in trouble for that, I don't know. But at least I kept him oblivious to who I was and what I planned to do. That evil man arriving today won't even recognize me. I use the most generic of disguises, wearing a ball cap pulled down and sunglasses clearly too big for my face. They say if you want to hide, do it in plain sight. No one has even taken notice of me. They will once they hear the gunshot. The time is approaching, so I make for the payphone bank. I dial my best friend, not to let him know what's about to go down, but simply to make blending in that little bit easier. Even the conversation can't distract me, and I notice as the evil man turns the corner. I can see it in his eyes. All the hurt he caused my son for over a year. The way he took advantage of our family. I see my son's crying face when the police finally returned him to me. Once the evil man takes a single step past me with his police escort, I don't hesitate as I pull the gun from my ankle holster. A sound of thunder rolls across the airport terminal as I pull the trigger against his temple. His body goes limp and plops to the ground. A husk of the evil man so vile I would knowingly commit a homicide. I put up no resistance as the police ask me why. They may not understand right now, but if it was their child, what would they have done?
That's definitely dark.
Yeah, it depends on your perspective.
I think it was a happy ending.
Yeah.
But, it worked out.
Depending on your perspective.
I mean, from where I'm coming from, it's a great ending.
I appreciate it. What do you think the moral of the story is?
Laws suck. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Fight the man. That's me.
I mean, God, sometimes you have to take the law into your own hands.
Close. Definitely close.
I mean, that's his moral, not mine. I'm not saying. I'm not condoning it.
Oh, I mean, well, we'll get there.
That's illegal. Don't do that.
Uh-huh.
Unless you have to.
Amanda.
Well, it's definitely something close to what Aaron said.
Be careful. Don't get James Gunned.
I love it. We're turning that into a verb.
Something about how, I don't know, actions have consequences. That's kind of what I took from it. You do something crappy, you might die from it. I don't know.
Wow, that's interesting.
You do something crappy, you might die from it. It's deep.
I mean, it's interesting you would go that route. The moral I have written here is justified vigilantism. Can vigilantism be justified, I guess?
Is that a question, or are you just saying that as a statement?
I mean, more or less. I mean, the first question I have for you guys is, what would you have done to the man who hurt your family? Right.
People, what would you have done, or what would you like to have done? Those are two different questions.
Well,
Because-
what is
right.
his question?
Well, what I would have done would be probably the right thing.
Oh boy, what a hero this guy.
No, you wouldn't.
Well, it
have.
depends on, I don't know how extreme. What it sounds like is they were family or they were close friends, and they found out that he was abusing his child. Is what it sounds like.
Basically, yes. And then
Did the child die or is child
no,
alive?
the child was returned. The child had been kidnapped. That's what the crying face
And was
returned.
abused.
Yeah, abused. Not in a great way.
I mean, it's
Not that you can be abused in a great way, unless you ask for it.
no.
Let's get out of this rabbit hole.
Let's not James Gunn this show. I would do the right thing. I would do the right thing. I would try to do the right thing. I'm not saying that there isn't an extreme situation, but I would let the law follow its course. Now, law doesn't do what it should do, then you have to reevaluate your situation, I'm sure. But no, I believe you have to trust the system.
Yeah. What are prison times for these kind of like kidnapping crimes and stuff?
Based on everything I know about prison, I haven't been there.
I think it's gonna,
Based on everything I know, he's going to have a harder life there than he would. To me, the death would be the easy out. I would want him to suffer in some way.
That's interesting. You like
And
it.
I think he would suffer more in prison than he would anywhere else.
And you want to make people suffer.
I'm okay with suffering when he caused suffering, yeah.
Yeah, Amanda.
I would make it my life's mission to ruin his.
Yeah,
I wouldn't kill him. I would just
through legal avenues.
as legal as I possibly could. And this is all very hypothetical. But if I did have a kid, and if someone did hurt my kid, and if someone kidnapped my kid, and then I found out who they were,
Why do I feel like your head's bobbing right now? Sashaying side to side or something.
because if that happened to me, they would regret ever coming near me and my family. For sure.
Okay, he's back, Dirty Harry. We get it.
I would seriously do everything in my ability to make their life hell.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I take it you're okay with the vigilante part of it?
Yeah, I say shoot him dead. Absolutely. I say get this man a medal.
Give this fictional man a medal.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well,
maybe
maybe
it's a
not.
true story.
Possibly.
You have no idea.
No, I don't. But I assume, because I haven't heard the story. But that doesn't mean nothing. I mean, you could have dug around and found some news article and...
Yeah, I'm known for my reading of the news. Yeah, I
I
know.
thought I heard a train. Sorry.
What?
I thought I heard a train. It
Are
was
you
weird.
being truth?
In my head. I'm sure that's what the stroke feels like.
No, it's like toast.
Okay.
Well, what I do, though, right? It's always easy to answer in theory.
Well, and people like to talk tough, too.
Right.
You know, in those kind of situations, man, you know what I'd do? I'd take them out first thing. I'd probably let the system work. That's what I would do. I don't want to be a murderer. I don't want to...
You can
What
make
kind of example does that set? You know what I mean? And I think people
For your
can be
kids, stuff like
suffer.
that.
Yeah.
But you could, I mean, also, this guy could have just gotten caught up in it.
Well, then the guy loses... The kid would already have lost some innocence, and it would have lost... that he or she would have lost a lot of other things. And would be going through hell, and then also lose their dad. So, I mean, you have
dad's
to...
going to prison. you're
Yeah,
saying?
you have to think of every consequence. To me, just killing him... And I know that's what the general answer is by most people. Is, oh, yeah, I'd love to shoot him dead because he hurt my kid. You're doing
Right.
more damage
Well, the
to
question is,
that
what
kid.
what would you like to do? Right. The question is, what do you think you had actually?
Well, I know what I would do what the system said
Right.
I should do. Because I think you'd suffer more in prison. And you apparently I'd go for it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
But take that into account, though. Maybe I hadn't thought that through. That then the kid is going to be left without anybody to be there as support.
Right. No, I hear you.
Still do it?
I just don't think It's
At that point, you could be like, but you know why. You get it.
yeah, that or I mean, I feel like I don't know. I feel like sometimes I hold on to things.
Who would have guessed?
So I feel like even if I did let him do process and he probably gets 15, 20, if he makes it out, if he doesn't get taken out in the joint, let's say, I feel like I would still harbor that. I'd be like, hey kid, just so you know, I'm going to murder that guy when he gets out. Like it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, but then he's an adult. So, yeah, you know
Right.
you're good.
Yeah.
You're on
And I
your
don't
own.
want to. Yeah, no, you're right. People do talk tough, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm talking tough. I just think that it would be hard. It would be hard to convince myself to not kill that guy. And
in theory.
in theory, right?
This
And
is
I
a
would.
podcast.
And
I
you're
want to be
right.
taken off iTunes.
You don't get James Gunned.
Yeah, or what's the other guy? Alex Jones? Is that the guy who just
Yeah.
got taken off Twitter because he was getting all
Well, I
angrified?
Well-
don't think he's been taken off Twitter, and that's what people are so mad
Or
about.
doesn't
he was taken
matter.
off iTunes though
Yeah.
for hate speech and stuff.
Yeah.
And we're not. This is a fictional thing.
Well, I'm not. This isn't hate speech. This is revenge speech.
Oh my. Okay, Batman.
Yeah, no, I can process and think that the kid's not gonna have a father, but probably,
But I feel like that's the thing nobody ever really thinks about when they're having those kind of feelings. Because those reactions I understand and are rational to, I want to go out and I want to exact some horrible semblance of vengeance. But on the same token, they're not going to suffer that way because death is instantaneous. So there's really no suffering. All you're doing is removing them from the world. They don't have to pay for the crime they committed.
That's what I want to do, though.
No, I understand what you're saying. But then the kid is also left fatherless or motherless, depending on your perspective. So,
well, I don't know. What if
I think you got to think of those things.
But they don't prove it. They're like, oh, I can't tell who it is under those sunglasses.
But wouldn't you also say that is totally a selfish move? It's more for you than it is for the child.
Maybe.
No, that's what I'm asking. That's the question.
No, I think you're doing it.
Well, he answered it. He said maybe.
Well, touche. She's absolutely right. I did answer. No, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, you are doing it for you. You're also doing it so that way that guy's not around anymore.
No, I get that. But there's always guys like that.
Sure. And now there's one less.
And there's one less parent, too.
Sure. But hey.
So that kid who's already suffering is parentless and has no one to lean on.
Maybe you just saved another kid.
It's possible. But as a parent, I care. Not that I don't care about other children, but I care about my kids first. Period. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. That's what you claim.
No, that's truth. Truth. They always win. What's best for them is what's ultimately going to win.
So, what prison sentence do you think is appropriate for
a crime like that?
Yeah, for that.
Well, what are the specifics of it?
He already said kidnapping.
He said kidnapping and abuse, but what kind of abuse?
Not that guy's crime. I'm talking about the vigilante.
Oh,
yeah. So what do you think is the just punishment for someone?
3 days probation.
Touche. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. Unfortunately, as much as I just advocated against it, I mean, if that happened, I have a hard time not understanding where the guy's coming from. I realize the law, and I don't think the law would adhere to that. Mm-hmm. But if you're asking me if I'm on the jury, you could probably use this, but it'll keep me off the jury. Yeah, I'd probably advocate for as little of sentencing as possible.
That's a good point. Are you asking us as maybe a jury member or citizen, or are you asking us if we were the judge making that sentence?
I really feel like I was just asking you, to be honest.
Yeah, just asking.
What would you...
as a conversation.
Yeah, as your guttural Amanda Sink reaction.
Community service.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, pick up the garbage on the
No, actually be involved with the community. Do something to help out the homeless. Beyond picking up trash. I feel like you can make connections. I feel like it's very isolating and doesn't teach them anything about being part of a community. Have them work with
convicted abusers?
I think that might be a tricky scenario.
Yeah, I would say maybe deter from that.
Just be the guy that walks in front of the window every time they're having a counseling session. And so, how's my counseling going? I don't know, but did you see Jimmy walking back and forth? It doesn't feel like it's going so well. Maybe you should pay more attention.
Poor Jimmy. So you don't think that would just lead to people? Where do you draw the line on what is worth?
Well, yeah, you'd be inciting more vigilantism, right? By doing that.
That's why you asked me as a citizen, and that's what I feel as a citizen. As a judge, I'd have to make a different call.
No, I'm asking you as a citizen. You don't think that would lead to more vigilantism?
It probably would.
Right. Is that cool with you?
No. I don't.
You guys got to live in a more exciting
conversation
world.
About eye for an eye thing, and I don't really believe that you should be able to make that. You can't really say oh, well, I don't want you to hurt or kill anybody else, and then just do the same thing. I don't. Even if it's in revenge, I just don't feel like that's. I don't know. I get it.
Do you believe in the purge system? Do you think we should maybe just start doing that?
No, because I would die immediately.
12 hours is so long.
I would not.
Lock up your door.
I would not. Somebody would kill me, for sure.
We got enemies?
No, but I would just be the one unlucky person who just doesn't know what
No,
to
you
do.
know what it is, Amanda, is you're late for everything. So you would be late getting back before the purge started.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Caught outside.
Yeah.
Yep.
So 5 minutes, the purge already started. And you're like, wait, what? I thought it was always 6 o'clock.
Hold on, unlock the door. I'm here.
Sorry, can't do it.
Can't risk it, sorry.
Yeah, it's a tricky question. It is a very tricky situation. Because I don't necessarily want to severely punish someone for doing that, but I don't really want to encourage it to continue happening for other people too. I've had my own situations where I'm man, there's somebody in a prison system that I would really like to take out, but I certainly can't do that and wouldn't do that. I guess it kind of feels like our justice system doesn't really work well for us anyway, and you just kind of have to deal with it. So
yeah, sometimes the punishment doesn't fit the crime, so maybe you give them something, but it wouldn't be anything close to what the person that did the initial crime should have gotten, honestly.
Yeah.
Which I've never understood how we're kind of lax on abuse laws in this country.
Yeah.
Drug dealers, they'll get 30 years.
Right.
But
well, we believe in second chances, but only if you diddle kids.
yeah. You know what? It's sad, but there's some truth to that.
Apparently.
Well, I mean, what if they force them to do not only community service, but also like had to do something that, I don't know, something more involved. Well, also anger management, because you should for sure be going to do that and take some counseling. But, well,
you should go to counseling, general
just because
counseling
of that
if you killed
situation.
someone.
Yeah, well, and everything you've endured from your family, too.
Some kind of court-appointed counseling.
Yeah, but then also something where they're in a setting that makes them feel that compassion again. So whether that's because they obviously have a soft spot for helping kids, and maybe having just like being some sort of an advocate for a kid in a situation who's been through a traumatic event, kind of like a crisis counselor.
I don't
sort of
think
thing.
I'd put the person who couldn't handle their pain and decided to become a murderer in charge of counseling anyone away.
No,
maybe 10 years later.
He'd tell him just, kill him.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about with the parents. I'm talking about with the little kids to try to like.
He's going to tell that kid, hey, when you grow up,
That's
you
a terrible
find him
person.
and
Okay.
you murder him.
I'd be more sympathetic to the person that was abused that became a vigilante than I would be the person who wasn't abused that became a vigilante.
Yeah. So they grow up 15 years later and they're
More justified
they're
if it
finally-
happened to them versus.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, if somebody wants to do the dirty work for you, yeah.
I mean, I'd be more.
You're
I'd be even more sympathetic, like sentencing. If it's the person that was abused that did it, I'd be more sympathetic to that than the person
Agreed.
who it didn't happen to you, and you should have thought of the parameters in terms of now you're leaving this kid. You know, I'm serious. I'm still stuck on the. That's really kind of a selfish move. I know as cool as that people think that is. To me, that's a really
That's pretty
selfish
cool.
move.
And Liam Neeson does it in Taken.
Yeah, well, Liam Neeson also never gets charged with anything.
Well, of course.
And for his
It would happen
three Taken movies, he would be serving about 47 life sentences.
Well, it happened in Paris, so let's say it's there.
Even Interpol would come for his ass. There's no way he's walking away from all that damage.
All right, calm down. It's
He
just,
takes this Taken very seriously.
yeah, I apologize.
I'm just saying, everybody references it like, I want to be Liam Neeson. No,
Well,
you don't.
yeah, you
He
want to
still
be.
dyes his hair brown.
Are you
He's
saying that
70
you
years
wouldn't
old.
be Liam Neeson in that situation?
Maybe. Well, yeah, but that's sex trafficking. You got to go get your kid back. That's different. You know, the crime, they're not back safe. Like this child is back safe.
No, like-
they arrested the person. So, I mean, you got to try to let the system run its course. Otherwise, what good are we if we aren't as good as society's rules?
We're not that good.
I didn't say we were.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
clearly,
but if
we
we
built a society, and clearly it doesn't work.
we need to try the system before we say that
Be
the system
greater.
failed. Yeah, be better.
Yeah.
Dare to be greater or better.
Or
Dare
dare
to
just
be-
to be good? Because I feel like we don't have a whole lot of that either.
Dare to be average. Dare to be just okay. Don't actually. You don't have to try it. Everybody always says swings for the fences. No, just swing.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. By the way,
Okay.
I would do some kind of probationary period of community service. Anyway,
Well, it sounds like you'd high five him.
well, yeah, but I'm not the.
And you like as you're putting the cuffs on him, you're like slapping his hand, and then behind him, like, good job, Bill. Nice job.
Yeah, hey, you know what, Bill? You did what needed to be done.
Yeah.
I was tired of hauling his ass around
I
anyway.
understand. You're under arrest. I get it.
I'm not saying I agree with it.
You
but I
have the
understand.
right to just pretend I said your rights because I don't even care.
In fact, I'm going to not read your rights so that way you
Yep.
can't.
You're going to
can't
get
use
out
it.
of this one.
Yeah, don't worry, Bill.
By the way, I just searched your house without a warrant. That's going to be kicked out. You're okay. You're going to be all right.
Man,
That gun
really?
we found, no longer admissible.
Really
You're welcome.
Looking out for Bill, man.
This cop's throwing his career out.
For Bill. He understands.
Yeah.
So, last question. Why would you say that vigilante justice is glorified in our culture?
Is glorified?
Yeah, I don't think there's any. I don't think you can watch a Batman movie and say that we don't glorify or Taken.
Because that's what everybody would want to do in that situation.
And
That's
it-
really what it boils down to.
Everybody
is
wants to be an action hero.
Everybody thinks that if you take away consequences, they would do these things. And I think most people actually would not. But,
Because they're afraid of consequences.
well, then I think they can't morally justify, as much as they think they would, they can't morally justify doing that in the real world. You know, it's one thing to talk tough, which Americans in the world love to talk tough. But it's another thing to actually do things that are tough. And to take a life is a lot more than it is on a TV show. I mean, you're you know, what Clint Eastwood would say, you're taking away everything that person is and everything they'll ever be. And that's a big thing to contemplate in the real world, the really real world. So, yeah, I don't know if people would actually do that, but we love to think we would.
Right.
We love to live vicariously.
Jack Bauer's pretty cool.
Dude, I love vigilante movies and TV shows. And I think it's great because I wish legally I could do those things, but I know I can't, and I know I probably would not if I could. If you took away all the laws, I still probably would not do that because I think it's the wrong thing to do. Inherently, I just enjoy watching other people do it.
Right.
Fictional people.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. You wouldn't watch a live stream.
Because, so here's my question. Whoa. If you see a guy, think about it.
You're very spirited.
Tons of shootings these days, right? It's ridiculous. And it's a huge problem and everybody knows it. And we're not going to talk about that. But if there's a shooting, let's say at some guy goes to a hospital and shoots a guy right there. And it's going to make the news. And it's a horrible situation. Mm-hmm. But then you find out later that person did something to someone else, a horrible crime. In your mind, is that still okay? Do you no longer feel for the person that got killed?
What did you find out they did, I guess?
Well, so you base it based on whatever they did.
I do. Yeah, I think I have.
Okay.
I have levels.
All right.
I think if it's our buzzword of the show.
What if someone gets hurt in the crossfire?
That changes the circumstances.
Collateral damage. Define hurt.
It's fair bullet, and they might, maybe they perish too. Yeah. I'm sure that's happened with vigilante justice.
No, sure, yeah. No,
there's going to be casualties. Is it worth it to get someone innocent who has nothing to do with anything hurt, just because you can't let the system work?
Well, yeah, being sloppy about it does change it for sure.
Not everybody's the Punisher, and the Punisher gets tons of innocent people hurt.
Well, yeah, then he feels bad for a couple issues, but he gets better.
He walks it off.
It's no big deal. I think it depends on the crime.
Okay. Sorry, I talked for a while. Why do you think vigilantism is so...
Well, you kind of covered it. I really just feel like it's because people want to... That's what they want to be able to take into their own hands. They want to be able to solve the problem. They know that they can't because of the consequences. And so watching somebody else do that and do the things that... I feel like most people have something that they would want revenge for, even if it's not as drastic as whatever's on screen or... whatever else you might see on the news or something or in the story. But I think we all have something that we would want revenge for. And so you get to kind of put yourself in those shoes when you're seeing it.
And you know what else? I think the average person does not have faith in the system.
No, because I don't really have a reason to.
It's hard. It's hard to.
No, and I'm not disagreeing with that. I understand it. That's what a big part of it. That's why we live vicariously through entertainment. It's always the things that we wish we could be or do or see. Star Wars, we wish we could swing a laser sword. Well, and vigilante ones, we wish we could get justice because we don't feel like justice is happening.
Right. Oh, even down to the simple things such as parking tickets that you didn't earn. The system is always screwing you.
I feel like that went to a weird place.
No, I'm saying it is.
Are you using parking tickets to justify vigilantism?
No, I am not.
That would be odd.
I am saying that yes, the system is broken. It is so fundamentally broken that we ticket people for jaywalking. I'm saying even down to the little things. No, it doesn't. It rarely feels like the government is looking out for you.
We do allow the government to take. People don't realize sometimes how much control they have.
Right. So we take it back.
A ticket for jaywalking.
Yes, it's absurd. And
I agree with that. It's absurd. You know what? I'll get to the other side however I feel necessary. As long as no one is hurt, I think it's fine.
It's everybody's...
We need a whole Smirk episode on jaywalking because I feel like I could talk about that.
Wow.
Then write the story.
Yes,
I'm trying to think, what's a great jaywalking story? How do you make that sexy?
Somebody gets hit. I don't know. Make it really dramatic.
Well, but that kind of takes away my point. Because then it points that jaywalking's bad. Because you just got hit by a car.
Well, the guy gets ticketed by the officer.
What if he needed to jaywalk to save somebody's life? Ooh. He saw something across the street.
What if he needed to jaywalk to take someone's life? He's a vigilante.
No,
he gets hit by a car on the way.
That doesn't really make your story
any
better.
He could have killed that guy if he wouldn't have been hit by the car.
Yeah, but now he's been killed. So wait, did we actually save the person? That we don't know what crime they committed?
Oh my God, this is all over the place.
The story would be, listen, the
watch.
story would be so much better if he just witnessed something across the street, decided to jaywalk. The cop decided, no, dude, you're jaywalking. Here's a ticket. And he's like, but I was going to go help this this person, like, look at this thing.
And now
No, you were jaywalking, and now this person is, like, dead, or, like, they got their purse robbed from them or something like that.
That's a great story. You should write that. And also the cop is awful because he arrested the jaywalker and the person getting hurt.
Well, he didn't arrest, he just
by.
gave, like, a ticket violation thing.
Two stories for the price of one this week.
Yeah, you're
My
welcome.
God. That guy just left the person in harm to give a ticket to a jaywalker. What a piece of...
Well, he had a quota to fill.
Garbage.
We don't have quotas. Oh, yes, you have
The
quotas.
department is underfunded. All right, so you guys think that's truth or fiction?
Fiction.
Fiction?
It is truth.
Why do you
What?
always find these weird truth stories?
It is 100% true. I did go digging.
Hey! You do read.
Sometimes. This happened in 1984, and the man who murdered the man at the airport got 5 years probation and 300 hours community service.
Good hint. Good
Hey,
for him.
we both
And that's
got
it.
it.
That's all you got.
We got it.
So at least in Baton Rouge, at least in Louisiana, there was one judge who was like, "I get it."
Or jury, either one. Or was it a judge?
I think I didn't read that much.
Oh,
I just read the
The summary.
I guess the bullet points.
that's the important stuff.
Also, it was all caught on camera by the news
What?
crew watching the man.
and
beat
did it at the airport, really?
He did it in front of the news crew because that was his best chance of getting the guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Now I kind of watch
Man.
the video. Can you watch
I
the
kind
video?
of got to read up on this story.
Yeah,
we'll have a link on the show notes for the story, so you're going
Okay.
to shoot me the link for that.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up, but you'll read it. Yeah, a kid's karate teacher kidnapped him.
Never
What?
taking karate
Yeah.
classes.
The kid's karate and did that to, like, hurt him, abused him? And then
Yeah.
Dad's like, oh, hell no. I can't come near him because it'll kung fu my ass, so I'll just shoot him.
Yeah, he did not.
Did he sweep the leg?
He did not. He said he did not have murder in his mind until he found out that his son had been sexually abused
Oof.
during the kidnapping.
Oh.
So then he said, "Well, you know what? He kind of had it coming."
Well, and apparently he made sure that he never did anything else ever again.
Yeah. Well, the judge's defense, and I think is actually a really good defense, is that this guy's not a threat to anybody else. Like, he killed the one person that he ever wanted to kill.
Well, doesn't everybody have at least one person that would be okay if
No,
they
but
weren't no longer on this
sure.
planet?
But if you just kill somebody because they annoy
Right now,
you,
there's some kid in their English class going, "Yeah, Mr. Gardner."
yes, if you kill your teacher, then that proves that you could probably kill another teacher. If you kill the guy who kidnapped your son,
You didn't have those motives in mind in the first place,
right.
too.
It wasn't,
Well, I feel really bad for the next guy.
it
that
wasn't
kidnaps
really
his son.
it wasn't really premeditated. It was an emotional reaction.
But I guess then
not a threat.
I
You're
guess
the
you
only-
could say you should have known. I mean, it's well documented. I will shoot you.
The
if this
only
happens.
the only guy he's ever going to kill again is if his son gets kidnapped again, and at that point he's probably just going to kill himself because he sucks as a dad.
That's a real person.
What's
hey.
the name of your story?
And the name is 9:30 p.m. because that's when it happened.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like this. This is cool, especially the little twist at the end where it's true.
It's not a twist; it was just a true story.
It's kind
It
of
was a twist because we didn't guess it.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
I'm
all
glad.
right.
Yeah, you guys thought it was so obviously fiction.
That's good. Well, I mean, yeah, I got nothing. Yeah, all right. As our show goes, we will occasionally pick listener stories to read and discuss on Smirk. If you'd like the chance to have yours read, email it to mystory@smirkpodcast.com. Join the conversation by joining our Facebook group. Follow us on Twitter @SmirkPodcast. Be sure to use the show's hashtag Smirk. Don't miss an episode. Be sure to subscribe to Smirk on your podcast app of choice and check out our website at smirkpodcast.com.
As you write your own life story, always remember to tell it with a smirk.
And a gunshot. Bang! What's up with that?
Hey,
Bang!
do you like my Sound of Thunder reference for all the readers out there?
For
The Ray Bradbury reference, because I said a sound of thunder rolled out across. Because never mind.
footprint, because the butterfly effect?
Yeah, because he says the sound of
I like
thunder.
it so much I had to think about it just now when you told me
Whatever.
to think
Sound
about
of Thunder is a really good story. Whatever.
It is. And I really like it when Edward, what's his name?
Edward Snowden. I don't know.
No.